Okay. Um, okay, we started the live stream. Rich, thank you so much for joining my office hours. Do you want to just start off just by quickly introducing yourself and then the topic, and then we'll begin our discussion?
You bet. Thank you. Yeah, my
Sure.
name's Richard Dewey, and my wife and I own a small apartment building over at 2901 Middlefield, and had sold a piece of small parcel across the street, Ellsworth Drive, to another person. His name is Nitin Honda, very late last year.
Okay. Okay, great. And Rich, do you want to introduce the topic and kind of your perspective?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. I wanted to thank you, Abe, for the time this evening. Secondly, for giving me a chance just to give you a little bit of background here, give you some more context. So we bought this. My wife and I bought it in 2017, and met an architect named Ken Hayes. I think it was 2019, 2020, and asked him if he could look into the idea of taking the parking lot, which didn't seem to have much use, and could it be used for housing? And so I'd not worked with Ken Hayes to do a project before, but my understanding is he did some checking around. He had a good reputation within the city of Palo Alto, and he had done some nice projects, won some awards, things like that. So he said he would take a look at it, and came back and said that he had had some meetings with the city staff, and they had advised him that the little parking lot was zoned for residential and could have a house on it. So I then retained him to design a house not too dissimilar from what you've seen, and just to use that for marketing purposes. I don't do residential development. I don't do single family housing type product. Anyway, so we did that. I think there were probably, I don't know, 8, 12 meetings, emails with city staff, all confirming that, it was zoned for a house, and the design that he had proposed would be acceptable. So that was put up for sale, and 3 or 4 people looked at it and ended up through a broker doing a deal with a gentleman named Nitin Honda, and he purchased it last November. Now, I'd never met him, which is, I say, customary in real estate transactions.
Sure.
Anyway, he submitted to the city, I guess, in December or January, and he was advised that there was an issue with the zoning, that the city had made a mistake on the zoning records, and it had in fact been a PC zone, not the R1 zone that everybody thought. So that led to all the stuff that we've been going through ever since. So that's sort of the background on how we kind of got to where we are. I think as of today, we've had 5 public hearings with the council and the PTC. I think we probably total about 15 hours or so public hearing time. So certainly a lot of time, energy has gone into it. Personally, this has cost my wife and me well over $100,000 in attorneys and architects time just to give the staff the information they've requested, or respond to PTC or council questions, comments, requests, whatever. But I think we're getting there. So kind of end of the day, kind of where are we? I guess just the point I wanted to make was that when you think of, Ellsworth has been there since the late 30s. It's always been 20 feet wide. And we have voluntarily offered to make some improvements at the connection point between Ellsworth and Middlefield to widen it. 30 inches on my property. I believe Honda's offered 18 inches. He's also offered to step back, his fence from the property line by 2 feet, so back a sidewalk 4 feet. And I know the city staff, transportation folks have looked at all that and feel that's more than appropriate.
Sure.
I know the staff has recommended that. So when you kind of take it all in, what have we done? I voluntarily moved the trash pickup from Ellsworth, where it's been for a long, long time, and put it over on Sutter. So that's taken away not only the eyesore of the trash bins, but it's also removed truck traffic down Ellsworth for trash pickup, and just the noise of that goes with it. Sure. We also took the old lot, had 8 parking spaces on it. We're going to restripe on my lot, but on Ellsworth, assuming Honda's property, gets approved for a house, there'll be 2 parking spaces for his home. And then I have 1 in my landscape area on Ellsworth. So we're going to go from 8 parking spots or 8 cars down to 3. So I would say that's a meaningful reduction in safety. And it seems like we've done what we can there. And then with respect to the parcel pickup, we have added a parking space on my property that'll be kept open temporarily for or temporary parking for the delivery trucks, DoorDash, whomever, to do their drop-offs. So, I feel like we've done all we can, and it's like to get this resolved and move on. So that's it for me.
Okay. Did you watch the last council meeting?
I was at it. Yeah. No, yeah, I did watch it. Yes, I did. Yeah.
Okay. What were your thoughts?
What are my thoughts? I thought that the conversation about understanding that there's no nexus between the house and widening the street was something that was well said and needs to be remembered. And I'm not sure that resonated with everybody on the council, quite frankly, but I know City Attorney Molly Stump is very well aware of it, as is Jonathan Late. I think that the transportation staff has also confirmed that they believe that the fence is designed at only 36 inches and 4 feet from back of sidewalk, does not create any sort of view or safety issues, that they have recommended that consistently. So I think it's all there. I think it's just a matter of, the staff has put in a lot of time on this. And I think the staff recommendation, was something we all could live with. I know Honda has voluntarily offered his 18 inches and we voluntarily offered our 30 at the PTC recommendations. And at the PTC, they called us out and, at the hearing and said, will you do this? And we said, yes, if you approve it, we will. So that's how we got there.
Okay. So you heard my perspective too, I think, right?
I'm sorry?
You heard my perspective, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So
thank you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, I think this is not the first time something like this has happened, right? That there's been other issues, right, where staff thought it was something and then find out later it's not, right? And people are making fairly big decisions based on that information. So yeah, so I think there's also an essence of fairness too, right? So yeah. So we're gonna have another meeting on this, right?
I believe we're coming up in the next couple of weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And staff has asked me for, they've asked for some more information. We've given everything back to Amy French and John Late. So they've got it all as of, I think, about a week or so ago.
Okay. So, I guess, you heard all the objections, right? From my colleagues on this. What information do you think, and some of them may actually watch this video, who knows? What information do you think would be helpful in terms of trying to resolve some of the concerns that were brought up?
Well, we've answered the questions of the parcel delivery by providing the space. I can't solve every problem that somebody throws at me. And I think the important part of all this is, remember, it's an existing condition that I had nothing to do with. It's an existing condition that building a small single family home has nothing to do with. So my offer to voluntarily put a temporary parking space on my property diminishes my property somewhat, from my 2 cents. The residents in my apartment building, it's not something that they need. They're the trucks that deliver to them park over on Sutter. So I think that's, a significant offer, improvement. And I've done what I can. There's not much else I can do.
Sure.
We have confirmed again the idea of, to keep it safe, you want people to drive slowly. So to keep it with the concrete apron that's there now, which exists at numerous apartment projects up and down Middlefield, is the correct way to go, and not put it down into asphalt for various reasons. And we've given the staff an engineer's letter and comments about that affirms that. So we've done that. And then with respect to the line of sight issue, I talked with Vice Mayor Greerstone a couple of days ago and also Councilman Burke about it. I think we had a good conversation. One suggestion that was made was, would Mr. Honda consider putting a slight angle on the fence at the corner of Middlefield and Ellsworth? In other words, instead of a pure 90, would he start the fence, say, a foot or 2 foot down Ellsworth, and then maybe for 10 feet or so angle it over? That, you know, I don't quite frankly really know if that does much, but it might do something.
Sure.
I've been out there. The pictures that you have on the plans are actually my wife on her bike and me. So you can clearly see us in relation to the orange fence that was put up at the staff's request. So would that make it slightly better, more visible? Sure. Will Mr. Honda agree to do that? I really don't know. That's up to him. But I'm sure he's thinking about it. So I think from that perspective, all that can be done has been done relative to the comments issues we heard at the last council hearing.
Have you tried talking to the people at Ellsworth?
I have. I've had meetings with them. Yeah.
Okay. How like recently have there been further discussions? No.
Nope.
Okay. Well, I know people have opinions, but sometimes it's worth it to have another conversation.
I'm very happy to talk with anybody over there. I spoke with one of the residents after the hearing on the 11th. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You know, because at the council meetings, it's very structured, right? So there's not much opportunity to or time to try to really kind of dive into things, but maybe, I mean, I think everyone's kind of seeing where council is, right? And the questions and objections and, comments. So everyone kind of knows like what the cards look like right now, right? And so I think, it probably couldn't hurt to have a conversation with everyone, right? On Ellsworth, just to kind of chat about things. And because I know that there's also sometimes people, kind of get locked into things, but when everyone's there and able to see, I mean, that's one thing we can't really do on council. We can't really all look at the thing, go, wait, there's no.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, it's like, this is no worse view than the property next to it, right? Or, this driveway is the same exact with all the others, right? So, yeah, I gotta get running here, but okay. Any other thoughts, Rich, before we move on to next session?
Nope, we're good. I appreciate your time tonight, Greg. I really do. And thank you for what you do for the city of Palo Alto.
Sure, of course. Okay. Have a great day. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night. Bye.